Welcome to the fabulous Las Vegas Rotary Club. For this Rotary year, Rotary International President Barry Rassin asked Rotarians to be people of action and to be the inspiration. This club's continuing mission to teach youth to succeed through literacy, education, and life skills development is the inspiration that Rassin asks of us. And our numerous local and international projects are the action that he asks us to take. My name is Jim Cole, and I thank you for being the 96th president of the best Rotary Club in the world. Thank you. As we do every day at this time, if you've got your cell phone and you're on Facebook, I ask that you take it out, find our live stream, and share it so the rest of the world can see what we're up to today. For our daily historical facts today, in 1469, Ferdinand of Aragon married Isabella of Castile, and thus began the consolidation of Spain and the rise of Spain as a world power. In 1767, Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon completed their survey of the boundary between Pennsylvania and Maryland, and we all know that today as the Mason-Dixon line. In 1867, the United States formally took possession of Alaska, which we bought for 2 cents an acre, which is a pretty good deal. And in 1977, in the 6th game of the World Series, Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in a row on 3 pitches. Just so you know, the New England Journal of Medicine reports that 9 out of 10 doctors agree that 1 out of 10 doctors is an idiot. At this time, I'd like to invite Jamie Goldsmith up front.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. A lot of people ask me why I care. Why do you care about gay rights? Why do you care about Black lives? Why do you care about immigrants? None of that affects you. Is that the truth? No. The truth is I'm an American, and Americans are gay, straight, Black, Latino, Asian, white, religious, and non-religious. So when people tell me that something Americans are going through doesn't affect me, they're absolutely wrong. I've been thinking a lot about the 4-way test lately and watching and listening to our society right now. Some of the things I hear are not fair to all concerned. So how do we change that? We build goodwill and better friendships with people who are different than us and people who are the same. This will be beneficial to all concerned. So please, when you leave this room, make it a point to be people of action by reaching out to our fellow Americans with kindness and understanding, no matter their heritage, social class, sexual orientation, or religious beliefs. After all, we are America. Let's embrace our fellow citizens and spread peace and love and be the inspiration for a better future. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Sidra or Jamel. Is it you? No. Yes, okay. I had Jamel down, so.
I was the one. I don't know if it's changed. But okay, we're going to do the Star Spangled Banner. And somebody said, please give us a note. So, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets guys sound great today.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. Today, Carrie is our Sergeant of Arms. Carrie, can you? Fantastic. Hi. How are you?
Good, and you?
Very good, thanks.
Okay.
We're going to do our introductions, and as we always do, please hold your applause until all of our visitors, visiting Rotarians, and guests have been introduced. Starting with International Rotarians. Do we have International Rotarians today?
Thank you. Anita. You stand. We have international guests today. We're glad to welcome into our club from India, Aniruddha, and he has a banner for us. Where's our Kodak moment here?
Welcome.
And we have from the southeastern part of Italy, we have Laura and Francesco.
Welcome. Thank you. If you are visiting Rotarians, would you please raise your hand? Visiting Rotarians. Got several back this way.
Thank you. I'm Kathy Mann, Dr. Mann, and I'm a retired ophthalmologist, and I'm visiting from Las Vegas 1 Rotary. And hi.
Welcome. Good to see you again.
I'm Mary Ann Clark from the Troy, Michigan Rotary Club.
Welcome.
My name's Murray. I'm from Calgary, as you know, and was pleased last week that the Golden Knights beat Buffalo. And they're on the right track. They're getting started Saturday night. We're expecting another win. Get the streak going.
Thanks. Good to see you again, Murray. Do we have other visiting Rotarians? A guest. If you're a Rotarian with a guest, would you please raise your hand?
And we have as our guest today, Robert Berge. Robert is with NV Energy. He's familiar with Rotary. He went to Bishop Gorman and actually was the speaker at one of our four-way speech contests. Did you win? No. Bummer. Sorry. Well, don't hold that against us. Anyway, he's checking out our club. So welcome, Robert.
Welcome. Other guests?
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'd like to reintroduce Steve Waglin, who this will be the last time I'm going to be able to introduce him as a guest because he's going to be indoctrinated in our club today, and he brought along his lovely wife Stephanie with him to observe these formalities. Thank you.
Welcome. Do we have other guests of Rotarians today?
Hello, Las Vegas Rotary. My name is Bill Houghton, and I'm pleased to welcome the editor, creative director of The Wheel, Jenny Houghton, my bride of 22 years.
welcome. And for those of you who don't know, she does our wheel, and we email back and forth all the time, and it's quite a labor for her to do, and we greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much from the club. Further visitors. Do we have any other further visitors today? Okay, if we could have a round of applause for all of our visitors. At our head table today, we have one of our board members, Eric Astromecki. We have Mark Brown from Miracle Flights, and we have our speaker as well, Christy Keller. At this time, I'd like to invite Mark up. For those of you who don't know about Miracle Flights, it's a wonderful program, and one of our attorneys, Mark Gardberg, has selected them. I believe he's on your board, is that right? Just a really active volunteer. He's very active volunteer, but so anyway, he selected it, and so as a joint gift from Howard and Howard and from the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, it's my honor to present you with a check for $4,000.
Thank you very much. Here, I'll put the check up. Perfect. Okay. Do you want to sit in front? Thank you very much. Just very quickly, Miracle Flights has been in Las Vegas for 33 years. And our mission is to fly sick children to distant medical care. So many of our kids have a rare disease, and there may be one doctor in the country that treats that specific disease. And so if a parent gets a diagnosis, they say, great, but that hope for that child's halfway across the country. How do I get there? That's where Miracle Flight steps in. And there's no private insurance, there's no federal programs to pay for that transportation, but that's what this charity does. We've been here for 33 years. Many people view us as a community asset, but we do 700 flights a month all over the country. Many out of Las Vegas. This money will be dedicated to Southern Nevada. And so I'm very grateful for the support of Rotary and Howard and Howard. And just on a side note, my dad was a member of this club back in the day for many years, Bob Brown, who had a newspaper called the Valley Times. And I was a member of Southwest Club and a many-time Paul Harris Fellow. So it's good to see some familiar faces. Have a quick video that can actually thank you better than anything I could say. I want to introduce you to the biggest fighter, best fighter of all, Levi.
Thank you, Mark. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Without Miracle Flights and all of y'all, for a fact, I would not be standing here. I know for a fact that I've been fighting through this since I was 1 day older, and now I'm 12 years old, and they said I wouldn't make it. One thing my grandfather said is, live life to the fullest. Don't let what you have, like James from Battle of Steel 100 explained it. Don't let that stop you. Go and do what you want to do. Yes, I have a bad back. Yes, I have bad legs. But I'm still standing here. That's all that matters. Yes, again, I want to thank every single one of y'all for being here and helping out with Miracle Flight. I've been fighting every day, and we're all fighting against something. And it might be on the outside, it might be on the inside, it might be whatever. But I would just keep on going for my cause and don't let anything stop me. Levi rocks! Thank you!
So just real quickly, Levi is one of 6 kids in the world with this rare form of dwarfism. And we've flown him 18 times to the only doctor in the world who happens to be in Delaware to get treatment for his condition. He's 12 years old, And every time he speaks, I think my job's in jeopardy because he does a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to thank the Rotarians that helped out today. Set up is Jamie Goldsmith and Shan Lamb. The greeters are Val Hartley and Barbara Billitzer. Invocation was Jamie Goldsmith. Song leader was Sidra. Teardown is going to be Chan Lamb and Bruce Frazee. And our Sergeant at Arms is Carrie Groh. Tickets were Marie Walsh and John and Jemmy, and Jim Tucker is our photographer. At this time, I would like to call Jackie Thornhill to the front, together with Steve and Janet Linder.
Hi, Stu. He's watching live. Everybody say, hi, Stu. Hi, everyone. We have another foundation presentation today, and some of you may be wondering, what happens after Paul Harris? Well, we max out at 9,000, a Paul Harris plus 8. So what happens when you continue to give after you receive your Paul Harris plus 8? Well, we are about to show you. Well, this is the mission of the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International. And in the survey that we sent out, some of you actually asked, what's going on with Rotary International? So this is the mission statement of Rotary International. The mission of the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. So you know what our worldwide mission is. Your generous contributions to the Rotary Foundation are essential to securing and growing our programs throughout the world. And we do want to express our gratitude for all that you give through your Paul Harris and continuing. During the past 100 years, I thought you might like this statistic. The foundation has spent nearly $3 billion on life-changing sustainable projects. With your help, we can continue to make lives better in our community through our local foundation and around the world. So today, the next step after Paul Harris is major donor, and level 1 is 10,000 and above. And today we are recognizing Janet and Steve Linder as major donor level 1. And here they are, and this is what they receive. Beautiful pendant, lapel pin, and a beautiful crystal piece. Congratulations to Steve and Janet.
That's a major milestone in your Rotary journey, and we're really proud that we have two more major donors in the club. At this time, we are going to start some people off with their beginning journeys in the club. So if I could call up Ted McAdam and Rosalie Hedrick.
Thank you, President Jim. Randy, we're about ready to do some induction, and we're not going to do some, what'd you call it? Indoctrination. That sounds like a pretty serious thing. But on behalf of the Las Vegas Rotary Club, Janet and I are going to induct a bevy of new members. Now, that's more than one. and less than 10. So if I'm going to call out your names, would you please come forward? Bradley Sloas, are you here today? Val Hatley, Barbara Billitzer, Steve Wegland, and Steve, bring up Stephanie with you, please, and Walt Parrish. Bradley's not here today. So we are. All right, just a few comments. Folks, you have been invited to membership in the Rotary Club and accepted as a person of good character, high ethical standards, and someone who has a heart for service. We're confident that you will represent our club honorably in the Las Vegas Valley and throughout the Rotary world. We do encourage you to learn all you can about Rotary and actively participate in our many community projects. The Rotary motto, service above self, is the essence of why we are members of this organization. As Rotarians, we believe that by serving others, we can build relationships that improve communication and mutual understanding. Welcome to this noble endeavor. We extend to each of you a sincere and warm welcome to the Rotary Club of Las Vegas, the Worldwide Fellowship of Rotary International. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome our newest Rotarians into our family, the greatest Rotary Club in the world. Thank you. Please be seated.
Okay, we'll have a short break for fellowship. Carrie, could you take the microphone to Russ Swain, please?
Heck yeah. It's always good to have the microphone. Welcome, fellow Rotarians and guests. I am grateful that we are going to have a UNLV Rotary tailgate. It is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Thank you, Anil, for bringing out some wonderful food for us to... Hey, you always got to pause and smile, right? Anyway, we are going to be out there. Tailgate starts at 5 p.m. The game is at 7 p.m., so come on out for a couple hours. You know, if you're not a football fan, you can still come out and tailgate with us and have a good time. We are located in the Scarlet parking lot. That is an area that requires a pass to park in there. If you don't have a Scarlet parking lot pass, you go in and park in general parking and come on over to the tailgate area. I have a Voltage fifth wheel RV that will be out there. If Jim Tucker would have brought out the big balloons like we had one year, but never mind. Anyway, we're going to have some fun. I hope everybody comes on out. If you haven't signed up yet, you can still come out to the event. You just have to get tickets for the football game on your own. I'm sure Anil. Yep. And I'd be happy to keep on talking all the way through the rest of the meeting, but I'm going to pass the microphone off. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention GLB Insurance Group of Nevada. That's right. They will be helping with the event tomorrow and helping me tow that trailer out there.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone to Katie Decker, please?
All right, good afternoon, Rotary. I have with me three of the best educators in Nevada. I have Christina Lewis. She teaches our second graders at Walter Long. And with me today is my very longtime friend, and I'm so lucky she agreed to come back to Bracken and work with us. We've worked together for 24 years now. Yeah, so just a little bit. And then I have Jen Z.O., who was my administrative shadow last year, and she loved our school so much, I said, hey, leave your school, come on over to Hollingsworth. And she did, and so I have a very highly qualified data specialist and behavior specialist, which I so appreciate. She's already making such a huge difference. So we have the teams in place this year to make a significant difference for the kids. And thanks to the community and your support, we've done already so many amazing projects. I want to give a shout out to Tom Thomas, who not only had his brother come and be my biggest guardian angel at Hollingsworth that I could ever have imagined, but he and his brother, they don't just talk. They wove the fence slats through at Hollingsworth. We now have privacy. We no longer stare at the plasma center where you can go donate plasma and then go to 7-Eleven and have a beer for a good time. We don't watch that anymore. And so we're very grateful for the privacy and safety that our children have now. We also at Bracken were able to erase the back of somebody's house. We were actually looking into their house, and you guys know that sometimes people walk around their house maybe not dressed appropriately. That was not a good picture for our students, and now we see the beautiful green fence. We still need more fence slats, and I'm going to be asking the club again this year for a grant for more of the fence slats because we want to cover the street up. I had a gentleman watching my children play, and he said, I'm just watching them play. And I told him to move along. That's not allowed. But I would really like the fence slats, and that way I don't have to have that conversation. So that would be fabulous. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your help, and it's going to be an amazing year.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone while you're there to Marie Walsh really quickly?
Thank you, President Jim. Next Breakfast with Books, November the 13th. I'd like to invite I'd like to invite everyone to come and join us. It's a wonderful morning. You only have to give about, you get there about 7:30. We ask you to be there because the people start coming in at 7:45. The sign-up sheet will be in the Green Book next week, and we'd love to have a very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Will you take the microphone to Kim Yoni, please?
Good afternoon. So today I want to talk to you about the canned food drive and the Halloween party. So as of today, we have raised about $4,956 and 77 cents towards the cost. Last year in total, we raised about $7,300 for the canned food drive, and so we're making good progress. But as you know, this is all about beating the Kiwanis in addition to doing a good deed. So we're all competitive people here. Let's keep donating. Let's make it happen. And this year, let's raise even more money. So be on the lookout. We usually have the tin cans on the table, and whichever way you can donate, extra change in your pocket, we appreciate it so much. So thank you. Secondly, yes, bring cans in, please. Cans are appreciated too. Secondly, the Halloween party. Next Friday, the 26th, 6:30 to 9, just like last year at the distillery in Henderson. There'll be a Chinese auction, costume contest, and food provided by Neil Melnick. We greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure Dave Thor is going to repeat the Thor appearance. Here you are? No? Man, come on. Anyway, this is free for members and $5 for guests. All proceeds go towards the canned food drive. So I encourage everybody to show up. It's a great party, great food, great atmosphere to enjoy time with your fellow Rotarians. With that, thank you.
Thank you. Could you take the microphone to Jamie Goldsmith, please? Stu's away, so.
Okay, so last Saturday was the Walk for Water benefiting One Drop Foundation. From this club, we had myself, Michael Williams, and Chan Lam join us on our team. We also had Jordana Lane from the Southwest Club, who's also on the SOAR committee. And then also several of my sister queens from the American Elegance Pageant System joined us. We did see Mayor Goodman, and I presented her with a pin, a SOAR pin, and she was really excited about that. And we got our picture, so if you want to open your wheel, you can see our team. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful day, and we raised awareness for the need for water, and we were out in the community, and it was really nice.
Thank you. Would you take the microphone to past President Jim Hunt, please?
Thank you, President Jim. Bear with me, my voice, if you can. I've been sick for the last few days, so I'm trying to get over that. But want to thank everybody. We had a good kickoff last week for Santa Claus. I want to just mention a few things that we're doing different this year that we've added. We've added a security committee with Arlene and Randy heading that up, and we're getting help from Jamie. We're going to try to have some uniformed officers at each mall and maybe at UNLV. We want to try to have a presence if at all possible. We're trying to be proactive and make sure that that's visible. We've got backpacks again, thanks to Karen Wisenhunt. We're going to be trying to give kids backpacks this year filled with non-perishable food. I've just picked up, I think I mentioned I picked up about 370 dental kits from the UNLV Dental School. We'll have those again to put in the backpacks. Michael Gordon and Howie Hopkinson are working hard to get other clubs involved. We got off to a good start, but I just want to stress again that this program only is a success if we have donations and we have volunteers. So the only thing that I worry about is some years we have a little delay in getting started. We had a good start last week, but we need you to sign up early and often. And what I mean by that is if you know you're just going to be you shopping, sign yourself up. Don't wait and see if you're going to have 3 or 4 friends or relatives or neighbors joining you. You can always update that number as we go along. So please make sure as the clipboard goes around that you put down whatever you can for now and volunteers. And we do need volunteers because You have 360 kids here. We need 360 volunteers, and it's very important to have the bodies just as much as it is the funds. So please sign up often and as much as you can. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any table that has not received the green book here today? Yep. Okay, that brings us to everybody's favorite time, the raffle. Today is $3,041 plus today's take. For the chance to draw the Joker, ticket is 6814758. 4758. $4758.
Holy smoke.
Jack Diamonds.
Okay. Thank you.
So the Jack is retired, and the pot will roll over to next week. For the Lowry's Bucks, ticket is 6814606. 4606. Jamie.
This is going to be a lot of banana cream pie. Thanks.
This time I'd like to invite Tom Thomas to the front. I'm sorry, that's past President Tom Thomas.
Oh, that's okay. It was a long time ago. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. This club has had an incredible tradition over many years of associating with the rock stars of elementary education, and certainly the presentation that we had from Katie today is a testament to that. So I'm pleased that we have another rock star from the school district with us to speak to us today. Christy Keller served for many years in the Clark County School District, starting out as a special education teacher, then as a dean of students, an assistant principal, and then principals of both a middle school and a high school. And then finally finished up her career as a assistant superintendent and oversaw 23 schools in the district. Today, though, she is now working with Moonridge, which many of you will know is a group that was started some years ago by Julie Murray. Julie has spoken to our club. And Moonridge is a philanthropy catalyst. They basically help direct the funds of donors in our community towards the efforts that really need the most help in Las Vegas. And we were fortunate enough with our last big project as a club when we assisted Katie with Hollingsworth Elementary. Moonridge was the group that oversees the Greater Good Council and helped the Greater Good Council find Hollingsworth and that opportunity. So I'm proud that we can have Christy with us and to hear about a project that she's been working on that's of great concern to children in our community. Christy Keller.
Thank you, President Jim, and thank you, Tom Thomas, for having me and facilitating my appearance here. I'll tell you, I learned from my table mates that this is the longest standing Rotary Club in Nevada. Is that right? And so I just have to ask, if you're going to feed me this kind of good food, can I come back? Okay, all right, you got a deal. This is great. So I'm here to talk to you about play. And you might wonder what that has to do with the Nevada Medical Center. And we'll get to that. But just a second, let me give you a quick glimpse. I promise it'll be the Reader's Digest version of how I became involved. As Tom was telling you, I was with the school district for 30 years. And before any of you start doing the math on how old I am, I started teaching when I was 12. Okay? So I did do 30 years with the school district. The most rewarding time of my life because it basically speaks to what you all are here gathered for today, service to others. And I will tell you, being a middle school principal, I was privileged to open Larry and Heidi Canarelli Middle School, where we had 2,500 middle school students. That will test your physical and mental strength for sure. And then the superintendent called me and said, we have a diamond in the rough that needs your help. So I went over to Durango High School, and the graduation rate when I got there was 68%. When I left, it was 81%. So thank you. Thank you. That was a lot of work, and I'm sure as we were talking about earlier, there were some teachers there who probably were like, oh gosh, I want her to go away. But they were the ones who probably didn't help raise the graduation rate. And so a lot of work happened there, and my predecessor is taking that good work I started and continuing it. So that's a little about me. I was actually retired from the school district for about 3 days, and I had the good fortune to meet Julie Murray through a friend of mine. And Julie looked at me and said, you're way too young to retire. You're coming to work at Moonridge. I said, oh, I am? And so here I am today. It's been great fun working with Julie. She told me to say hello to all of you. She knows many of you in this room. So hello from Julie. And as Tom explained, Moonridge Group does really guide and advise the work of corporate and family foundations. One of our clients happens to be the Nevada Medical Center. I'm going to spend some time talking about that organization and what the Nevada Medical Center has to do with play, because it might seem like an odd pairing. You're not alone. It is to most people. So, very briefly, the Nevada Medical Center is a nonprofit organization that was founded by the late Eric M. Hilton, who helped Julie start 3 Square many years ago. And before he passed, he said, Julie, I have one more dream. I want to create an organization that convenes individuals in and outside the healthcare field so that we can work together, collaborate, and solve some of our most pressing healthcare needs in Nevada for Nevada citizens, residents, and those who visit Nevada. So 43 million visitors a year. It's important if you visit here that our healthcare is of quality. His vision really was to make sure that his inspiration, which it truly was, could be the hub of collaboration. Our goal is that NMC, Nevada Medical Center, I'll call it NMC for the rest of my presentation, is seen as the hub that convenes people, like-minded folks, to solve actionable problems in a forward progressive way towards our healthcare, because healthcare matters to everybody in this room and outside this room as well. It's a little strange, the name, because people say, well, Christy, where is the Nevada Medical Center? It's not really a center. So you have to think of center in terms of convening, collaborating in that form. It's not a place where you go and get a healthcare wellness check. It really is more of a synergy to gather up folks in and outside the healthcare world to make changes into healthcare for Nevadans. So it's not really a center. We're not a medical service provider. So I want to be clear about that. I can give you an analogy from teaching to help you maybe understand it a little bit better. When I was at Durango High School, we had amazing teachers, gifted, born to teach, knew what to do, never had to worry about them. We had teachers who struggled and with some coaching could have gotten better. We had teachers who were brand new that needed some help, because your first year of teaching is always a very interesting experience, as Katie and her team can attest to. But what would happen is, for years in education, the great teachers went in their room, the door shut, they took care of their 150 students, never talked to anybody, you said hi to them, they came to meetings, they did what you asked them to do, and they went home. Those kids were well taken care of. The middle teachers who struggled, and some that really had some issues that needed to be addressed, had the same issue. Went in their room, took care of their kids, shut the door, and there was never a collaboration between the top-notch teachers, the teachers who needed some support and coaching. It was a very much working in isolation kind of endeavor. So that's what Eric M. Hilton's vision and dream was for the Nevada Medical Center, is how do we get the great healthcare providers in our state not to work in isolation, but to work together with business and industry leaders and Rotarians to solve our most pressing healthcare problems. So hopefully that helps give you a quick glimpse on what it really is. Because it's a little bit, and we're still working on our brand. People are like, what is NMC? I've not heard of you. So hopefully you'll leave here today and understand a little bit more about us. So a couple of our areas of focus have to do with the healthcare report card, and I put one at each of your tables. If you did not get one, I think there might be some tables that got one. If you didn't, I'll give you my email address. If you'd like it, I can send it to you, an e-version. But real quickly, the healthcare report card, we launched it last year in 2017. We re-released it, the second edition, this year, just about a few weeks ago. It basically gives legislators, the media, philanthropists, citizens, you in this room, healthcare providers, etc., a glimpse into how Nevada ranks in comparison to other states in 6 categories. And you have that report card in front of you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I want to get to really what I'm here to talk to you about. But to back up that healthcare report card that you all have at your table is a data portal. I'll call it the power plant, if you will. And we partnered with Jeremy Aguero at Applied Analysis, and he and his team of experts compiled thousands of data sources about those various categories you see in the report card, so that when you visit the Nevada Medical Center website, if you're curious about doing a deeper dive into how we rank as a state with healthcare in regard to other states, I encourage you to do that because there's demographic data, there are subsets and other indicators in there, so you can see in chronic disease, for example, how African American males rate in Nevada compared to other states and how we're trending there. So I'll make sure you have the website. I think it's on the report card for you if you'd like to have that. But that is one of our pillars, and I'm going to explain how that report card gets to play, I promise. Oh, before I get too going, we can't talk about play without giving some play science balls. You get a play science ball, and I'll be giving out gifts as we go along. The Nevada Health Commission, this is also a pillar of the Nevada Medical Center. They held their first inaugural meeting about 3 weeks ago. It's a small 5-member body that represents public and private partnerships. And what the Health Commission is going to do is take the data from the report card and the data portal and other reports across the country that sadly rank Nevada. Where do you think Nevada's ranked, Rotarians, in terms of health care? Right, which is why it's interesting I'm standing up here, because I said to Julie one day, gosh, where do you think education in Nevada always gets ranked? And here I am now talking about healthcare. Is it me? Am I like the unlucky penny or what? I'm not sure. But what I have learned is there's a lot of similarities between healthcare in Nevada and education in Nevada. So they're going to take specific long-term and short-term challenges and work to address them with your help and other groups like you, so that we can actually say we're doing something and not just talk about, okay, here's where our challenges are, but actually take steps to fix them. The other, so most of the reason, I want to tell you all something real quick. If you'll notice on your report card, we have a D in the grade for access to health care. And I have to tell you all, it was an F last year, so we got up a little bit, and that's because of the numbers of people that are insured now with the Affordable Care Act. But it really isn't so much that we have a problem insuring Nevadans. You know what our problem is? I'm sure all of you already know. I'm speaking to the choir. We don't have enough providers. Not only medical doctors, nurses, LPNs, RPNs, nurse practitioners, specialists. That's our real issue. And that's being addressed by the Nevada Health Commission. So here's another area of focus, and one I'm going to spend a bit of time with you today. It's the Global Science of Play Institute. NMC is hoping to lead the way to demonstrate the value of play, that play is vital for people of all ages, not just the language of children, but for people from birth to the end of life. Play reduces stress, increases joy, and creates meaningful connections. So in sum, the Nevada Medical Center is a collaborative, innovative prevention and wellness organization positioned to become the hub among the healthcare community. Here is our board of directors. I'll let you look at those. Again, Julie Murray is the president. She says hello. I think many of you know the board of directors. I got to tell you, Senator Bryan is a hoot. Sitting with Senator Bryan at the board meetings, his first sort of questions about play, he said, Christy, I kind of don't get it. Play is frivolous, right? Like, what do you mean play for somebody my age? But now Senator Bryan's one of our greatest cheerleaders. So hopefully you'll be too here in a few minutes. These are the grades in the current report card that you all have a copy of, and I won't go over them. But I am going to talk about the grade to mental health, even though overall it was a C in our state. I have to tell you, sadly, it's an F when it comes to young people. Yes, and here's some reasons why. Oops, I went too fast. You may or may not know this, maybe some shocking statistics for you. 1 in every 10 teens in Nevada attempts suicide. Did you all know that? 1 in every 10. Nevada has one of the highest suicide rates in the country. The student counselor ratio, Katie knows this, student counselor ratio in Nevada is 500 to 1. So Katie's counselor is supposed to advise, counsel, and keep track of 500 students, even though the American School Counselor Association recommends 250 to 1. So Nevada's twice the average. And I'm glad folks of your stature in this room are hearing this, because when people say, why is Nevada can't do more in schools? Here's one reason. How can a counselor keep track of 500 students? 250 is a lot, right? But 500 is certainly too many. So Nevada sadly earned a grade of F for its prevalence of mental health issues among youth. So you might be wondering at this point, and if you are, you're in good company. I still don't quite get it. We live in a deadline-driven society where play is frivolous. It's for kids, Christy. Why are you talking to me? I'm an adult about play. Here's another reason you might be thinking. With technology being so dominant with today's kids, many are not practiced at the art of spontaneous play. What do you think our kids are practiced at? Some of you have them at your tables. Cell phones. Do you have to look somebody in the eye when you're on a cell phone? No. How many of you have been to dinner and seen couples our ages? Notice I just made myself younger than I am. And there's a couple having dinner and they're texting each other, but they're sitting right next to each other. Has anybody ever observed that but me? I always want to go over and go, you could talk to him. He's right here. But I don't do that. But I do wonder. The lack of play leads to social disconnectedness, low emotional intelligence for both children and adults. Play helps kids stay physically active, builds valuable social skills. It's the foundation for social and emotional learning. It teaches resiliency, confidence, self-expression. It encourages fairness, conflict resolution, and communication. And studies have validated that increased quality and quantity of play improve the long-term outcomes for disadvantaged children. Play teaches kids how to relate, connect, solve problems. Play is the hallmark for establishing a socially cohesive adult. Play, as Katie will tell you, and leads all of her schools this way, play equals learning. Play brings joy. We need more joy in our lives, don't you think? Here are the elements of play: anticipation, understanding, surprise, strength, pleasure, and poise. Skills, not all of them. Some of the skills developed through play: strength, stamina, empathy, creativity, ingenuity, and surprise. I was thinking about on my drive here today, and something occurred to me, probably because I spent some time at Bracken this week with Katie. The skills learned on the playground are the skills you need in life to succeed, something our kids are sorely not getting. For example, cooperation, teamwork, the value of relationships, sharing, listening, eye contact, responsibility, leadership. Are those skills you think our young people need? Are they skills that you all have used in your life to be successful? I would bet so. And President Jim gets a play science ball. You're welcome. So let me share some more examples. It takes strength to read. It takes strength to read a whole series, especially if it's Harry Potter. Creativity. Two extreme examples, creative nonetheless. Lady Gaga, Albert Einstein. Stamina. Ingenuity. Empathy. Surprise. And I hope I can get this to play. Is that not great? That's my favorite. Tell me that he doesn't understand play. He absolutely does. Playing is mud, sweat, and gears. So let's talk a minute about what play is not. Play is not fear, intimidation, shock, harassment, anger, bullying, weakness, fragility, unease, or clumsiness. Without you having to be put on the spot, but if you want to play science ball, you could certainly give me an answer. Do you think there's an increase of these not play examples in our schools, our city, our country, our world, our planet? Which is why it's so refreshing for me to be here with a group of you today. And I have to tell you, singing the Star-Spangled Banner is the greatest thing ever. It just feels good. You get to play science ball. You were agreeing with me. Love it. So those are examples of not play. This is, I forgot to tell you in the beginning, I am not a play science expert by any means. What I do know is about play and learning as an educator. This is the Nevada Medical Center play science expert. You have an article he wrote for you in your packets. And his name is Dr. Stuart Brown. He's written several books on play. I encourage you to look him up. He's fascinating. He does come to Las Vegas as our keynote speaker for many events. He spoke at the GCUA at UNLV. He's done some things at Bennett Preschool. He did the City of Las Vegas keynote address for their employees. So he is working with us on this project, specifically as relate to play. And I'm going to read this, not because you need me to read to you, but I just think it's so well said. Those who play rarely become brittle in the face of stress or lose the healing capacity for humor. Good players generally handle aggression and humiliation well. The non-player acts like and is a victim with the victim's narrow outlook. He's an 85 years old scientist. He founded the National Institute for Play, and I hope if you ever get the chance to meet or hear from him, you take us up on that because he's truly incredible. And you'll find his article very interesting. So why is the Nevada Medical Center focusing on play? Here are some reasons, and I'm going to ask Katie to help me out here in just a second. Decreased recess and playtime in schools, discouragement of real play, overemphasis on standardized testing, low reading, math, and science scores, increasing rates of ADHD and autism, and a growing obesity problem. And it's not like leaders of schools walk into their buildings every day and say, I'm going to neglect recess. That's not what they say or do. But it is a consequence of what happens when you're focusing on testing, making the mark. And I'm not for a minute telling you all that those things don't need to happen. We, of course, want our children to grow academically every day. But I will also tell you there's a magic to academic performance. Kids have to be happy at school. They have to want to come to school. They need to connect with their peers. And if they don't have time at recess to play to learn to connect with their peers, then they're likely not going to do as well academically. It's a cyclical situation. It's not one or the other. Here's other reasons. We need young people that can solve sophisticated problems and challenges of the 21st century, highly imaginative and creative thinkers. We need folks who are flexible, adaptable in the face of our rapidly changing technological world. We need to foster belonging and community in an emotionally charged political and social landscape. Is that last bullet very true, especially in the world we find ourselves living in today? Here are some other staggering national statistics. 6% of children ages 9 to 13 play outside on their own. 6%. How many of you remember digging forts? I do. My mom used to have to call me in at 10 o'clock at night in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Where have you been? I was digging a fort with friends. Hide and seek. We'd play that for hours and hours. And I know the world has changed and supervision of children has changed, but 6%. 8 to 18-year-olds spend 53 hours per week with entertainment media, which basically means their cell phones. And I'm going to venture a guess that that number is probably higher than 53 hours a week. American children get only 26 minutes of recess per day, including lunch, despite the proven cognitive benefits. And Katie, would you like to speak a minute about it's actually often less than that?
Playing for only about 10 minutes, and some of them it's 15 minutes. At all three of my schools, I've worked out the schedule so they get 20 minutes. And that is the most that we can give them because they have 20 minutes to eat and then 20 minutes to play. But it really does depend on scheduling, and our school days here are too short, way too short. So if we had more time, we could play more.
So here's Katie's mantra that I'll steal from Katie. 19 more minutes. If we had 19 more minutes in our instructional day, principals wouldn't have to choose what Katie just described to you. They wouldn't have to cut their recess to 10 minutes. Katie does a marvelous job at her school to make sure kids have value with each other and social connectedness. But not every principal does that. I'm working with a school right now that I'll talk a little bit about that has 10-minute recesses. 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. What can you barely get out there, you're coming back in, right? Here are some of Nevada Medical Center's partners. We've partnered with a national organization called Playworks. They're an amazing organization. They're in over 450 schools in the country. They have had a hard time breaking into Nevada until I came on board because I was a former district employee, and I just called Katie and said, "Are you game?" And of course, I knew Katie would be. They help school leaders build valuable social skills through play. So far, Nevada Medical Center has done demonstration site work at Hollingsworth, just this week at Bracken, and we're about to partner with Crestwood. We're also going to strike up a partnership with AARP because seniors, we believe, need playtime as well. Do you agree? Here's what we've been measuring at our demonstration projects. The number of students engaged in play, number that are physically active, cooperation among students, amount of time transitioning from recess to the classroom, reduction in disciplinary referrals, bullying, verbal and physical altercation, and reduction in visits to the health office. These are just a couple of points from one of Katie's schools at Hollingsworth, where we worked with her last fall and spring. The number of her daily disciplinary referrals from before the play intervention that we did at her school to after, you can see went from 4 to 1. The reduction in daily visits to health office went from 10 to less than 2. Just with kids learning how to reconnect with each other and truly playing. More data points that came right from Katie's teachers. 87% of the teachers said the play intervention increased the number of students engaged in healthy play. 85% said that their students were more physically active. Here's some examples how some of you might play. Barbecue, picnics, walk with your dog, bowling league, poker night, idle conversation on the ski lift, email jokes, charades and battleship, chess, golf, swimming, and whatever else you define as play in your life. To quote our play scientist, Dr. Brown, we are built to play and built through play. Question and answers. And there's the website if you want to do a deeper dive in any of the data I shared with you. And then we also have a Global Science of Play website as well. So I wanted to make sure I at least let a couple of minutes. I have 2 minutes for some question and answers.
So as Katie said, 19 more minutes.
Yes.
What's stopping us from doing that? Who's holding that back?
We got to get the legislators convinced that we need more minutes in our school day. It does come at a cost, for sure. But I also think not having the 19 minutes comes at a greater cost. So it's policy change at the state level. Good question. You'd have to extend the day for the teachers, and so you'd probably be talking about a teacher negotiated contract of more minutes, so it'd be more salary. Yeah. Yes.
So about $2,500 per teacher based on their contract. It's their daily rate of pay, and it's 19 minutes based on their daily rate of pay that they get for the additional time.
So if you do that math, somebody has a calculator, you're talking $2,500 per teacher for about 20 more minutes of instruction times about 19,000 teachers. So it's an expensive proposition, for sure. Any other questions?
I just want to mention real quick, too. We are doing Playworks this week at Bracken. And any one of my playgrounds, you guys can come at lunchtime if you want to see what it looks like in action. All of our students are actually engaged in play. And the students are the recess coaches. And we do some chants and cheers and some yoga, so you can play a little bit, too, if you join us.
The chants and yoga are the best because it gets kids ready from the recess hat. They take off the recess hat and they put on their learning chant hat, and they do it with the chant, what is it, Katie? The mozzarella pizza, or peel the banana. Peel the banana. You can tell I've been at Katie's schools a lot lately. One more last question before I turn it back to President Jim? Yes. I probably don't need a mic either. I have a playground voice.
My question is about the methodology of, you said, the high suicide rate. If you're just looking, whether you're looking at police reports or whether those are truly Nevada residents, because if they're not, if they're tourists, and that incident happens here, maybe we are better, and our suicide rate isn't that high.
Yeah, that's a great question. That actually came from the Nevada Department of Behavioral Health of residents, not visitors. That's a great point. All right.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Hey, really fascinating presentation, and I'd like to present you a Share What You Can award, and so we give this to you, and we will feed a needy veteran in your name with a hot meal.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you for coming. Speaking of play, Stu Lipoff dropped me a note in the middle of the thing and asked me to talk to the club and say, "Go Sox!" So he's a big Red Sox fan. If you don't have a directory, if you have not got the new directory, and this includes recent inductees, please check with Sean Norda. So as we leave here today, let's go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve each other. Rejoicing in the fellowship of Rotary. Be people of action. Be the inspiration. Meeting adjourned.